Governor Roy Cooper appointed Todd Ishee Secretary of the newly established North Carolina Department of Adult Correction in 2022 after he served more than 3 years as Commissioner of Prisons in the North Carolina Department of Public Safety. He served 29 years in Ohio Corrections, beginning as a correctional officer before rising through the ranks to serve as warden of the Ohio State Penitentiary, regional director, and deputy director for the Ohio Office of Reentry and Enterprise Development. Ishee believes in communication from the ground up and visits several sites every week. He spends time speaking with staff and offenders, sharing his mission and vision for the future of North Carolina corrections, and gathering staff input and ideas. Ishee serves as a member of the North Carolina Governor's Crime Commission. He's a member of the Correctional Leaders Association and the American Correctional Association, where he serves on the Commission on Accreditation for Corrections. He has been certified as an auditor for both the Prison Rape Elimination Act and the American Correctional Association. And he holds a bachelor's degree in organizational management from Malone University and is credentialed as a certified public manager. Please join me in welcoming Secretary Todd Ishee.
Okay, good morning, everyone. All right, I know we had a break, so now we're ready to go again. But thank you for being here, and thank you for inviting me to be here. I think this is we're off to a good start. I've heard so far today, and I know that we're all looking forward to what the day brings. You know, I wanted to give a special thank you to both Ron and Sandra for putting this together. I'm looking over here. I see Burl Kane here, and Burl and I have known each other for several years. And Burl, we are so fortunate to have you come to North Carolina, and we appreciate you supporting the conference. And Leanne is over here to my right. I think we're going to hear from Leanne soon, but she's the former director of corrections in North Dakota. And Leanne, thank you very much. I know she was on the West Coast just a day ago, so thank you for your traveling across country here to be with us. I want to say thank you to our elected officials that are here. I know Senator Hanig, I saw him this morning, and he's going to be participating this afternoon. We've got Representative Morey is here, and Representative John. And if I missed any of our other elected officials, we appreciate you being here and participating in the conference. I want to give a special thank you to former state rep and Senator Bob Steinberg, who is in the back, and former Senator Steinberg. We can't thank you enough. He has been such a champion for corrections in the state of North Carolina. And sir, we appreciate everything you've done to help advance corrections across North Carolina. Artis is down here from Scenic right here in the front, so we appreciate Scenic. I did a photo with your whole team this morning, so we did some selfies and all kind of stuff, and we appreciate, as always, the support that Scenic provides to the Department of Adult Correction. Brian Daw, is Brian here? Brian from One Voice United, thank you. I know that we have interacted with your organization over the years. We've had some award recipients that you've provided. One sitting right here in front of me, one of our wardens has been recognized, and I think Art Beeler. Where's Art? Art's in the back, but Art got a Lifetime Achievement Award from One Voice United, so we're certainly proud of that. And while we're talking about Art was our lead in working with the organization to help plan the event. So thank you for that, Art. And last but not least, Team DAC, we've got a number of our wardens are here today. Some have traveled from the deep west. So we appreciate our Team DAC members that are here, because we're here because we want to engage with you. You know, this is a good day, and we're going to hopefully learn a lot, but we're here because we'd like to hear from you. So reach out to our staff on breaks or as you have other opportunities, but we're looking forward to interacting with you. This morning, we're gathered because restoration does matter, and that is a major responsibility for us in the Department of Adult Correction. If you've seen our new, as we have become a standalone cabinet agency, we've kind of associated three key words. One of our words is rehabilitation, one is innovation, and one is protection. And Restoration Matters, and what our work does is one of the things that it focuses around is restoration and rehabilitation. But today is about being innovative and being creative, and we're here to learn, and we're here to, I guess, sometimes I tell our staff to be curious. How can we be better? How can the Department of Adult Correction continue to grow, to continue to evolve and provide better services to the state of North Carolina? How can we better impact our staff? How can we better impact the men and women who are in our custody? How can we better impact the many thousands, over 80,000 men and women that we supervise on probation and parole across all 100 of our counties? How can we better impact families and loved ones and friends of those that we supervise? And how can we be a better partner with our stakeholders? So hopefully as we move through that, we'll be able to answer some of those questions, or at least come out with today with some ideas. Since January, so we've been a standalone cabinet agency since January of 2023, and since then we have made some significant progress, some significant improvements across our system, but we also understand that there's still a lot of work yet to be done. We are not perfect. We've got work to do, but we stand prepared to do that, to continue to push things forward as we learn and grow. So looking ahead, I was asked to talk about the future of corrections in the state, and wanted to highlight a couple things that we are working on now that are underway, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Hope University. But we brought today copies of our strategic plan. So if you kind of want to know our roadmap of where we're going, we've got 100 or so copies of these that are available to everybody. It's also on our webpage. I want to talk a little bit about system-wide accreditation is our goal through the American Correctional Association. But we started back, I think, in 2019 by saying that we have a vision to become an accredited prison system. So that'll include all of our prisons, all of our probation and training. So far we have successfully accredited or have been recommended for accreditation 15 of our prisons. So 15 out of 54, so we still have a ways to go. We have 6 more this year, and in fact, one going on today as we speak up in Caswell County at Dan River Correctional. 15 more accreditation audits are scheduled for 2024. So we are wading in heavily and quickly as we move forward. Over the next 6 months, we're going to have an accreditation audit of our agency headquarters. So they're going to come here to Raleigh and audit our agency policies and our agency administration practices. We're going to audit our probation and parole operations. So we're looking forward to that. Our parole commission is going to go through an ACA accreditation audit, as well as our staff training and development. So we're moving forward and quickly into our goal of system-wide accreditation. Burl was up earlier and talked about field ministers. We have a field minister program here in North Carolina that really was birthed out of his efforts in Louisiana. But we have 44 men who have graduated with a bachelor's degree in theology and are now deployed at 11 of our prisons. We have 47 additional men that are students. They're either freshmen, sophomores, juniors, or seniors at Southeast Baptist Seminary. And I'm really pleased that we, in January of 2024, are going to begin a cohort at the North Carolina Correctional Institution for Women. So beginning in January, we will be a balanced system that will have field ministers for both our men and women. And want to give a special thank you to Coach Joe Gibbs, who has been one of the main driving forces behind our field minister program. And we cannot thank Coach Gibbs and Game Plan for Life enough. We are in the midst of a HiSET and vocational certification challenge. So earlier this spring, we met with our community college partners in North Carolina and have issued a challenge to all 54 of our wardens to produce more HiSET or GED completions and more vocational certifications. So our wardens are working really hard on that. If we are successful by July 1st of 2024, we will triple the amount of GEDs, HiSET completions, and vocational certifications during the course of this fiscal year. So we will keep everybody posted, but we're excited about the work that our education teams are doing, and really the men and women who are in our custody are working really hard on getting a high school diploma or vocational certification. Burl and I were talking on the break about our work release program. Work release we have had in North Carolina for a number of years, but COVID, that 2020, 2021 COVID virtually destroyed our work release program because everybody that was participating in that we had to pause it. So we are rebuilding, but as of this morning, about 1,200 men and women leave our prisons almost every day, go out to work, and then come back. So that's a program that we are very proud of, along with the different other kind of furlough periods. We have go home and have a home pass for the weekend with family as you're nearing that transitional point of leaving prison custody and returning home. So we're excited about that. And then I'm going to talk about Hope University, which is out there. It's continuing to grow. It's not a finished product yet, but you'll see some of the stuff that we have, and also some of the things that we're working on. We're working on reforming restrictive housing. It is a big issue, and our operations staff are working on reforming our restrictive housing practices across the state. But out of all that good stuff, one that is kind of an anchor that's holding us back a little bit is our staffing levels. Our staffing levels are not good. We are working very hard on that. We've got about a 40% vacancy rate amongst our correction officer rank. So what that does is that has an impact sometimes on programs and services. But we've got a new human resource team that we've hired new talent acquisition experts, and we're working hard to dig us out of that our staffing challenges that have plagued us for some time. So I want to talk a little bit about Hope University because I'm excited about this. I think this is, if you think, why do we have Hope University? So our offenders all have tablets. They are provided free of charge, and the tablets kind of have two parts to it. A recreational component where people can pay for movies and music and entertainment kind of things. And then we've got this whole other side of the tablets that is Hope University that is really designed, if you think about our prison system and you think about the offender population, the needs of the population is up here. Rehabilitative, restorative needs are here. And we have about this many resources to deliver programs and services. So if you think of Hope University, we're hoping that is the bridge. That is the bridge that will provide programming opportunities to everyone, including those men and women that are in restrictive housing. So a couple highlights here for Hope University. You'll see our vision and mission statement, but the mission is anchored around educational, rehabilitative, and wellness resources. And we'll leave a copy of this with Ron so that you guys have this. But I wanted, if I could, draw your attention to number 2, robust and diverse resources. So basically, Hope University, amongst other things, there are 2 LMS, learning management systems, on there. And I know you can't see all of it, but this is a catalog of just one of the 2 LMS components that are on there. And if you look through this, I mean, this is probably a couple inches thick, and every page has course content and course curriculum. So what we've done is very intentionally tried to create, because we supervise a very diverse range of men and women. So we've tried to create on here a very, very diverse menu of self-improvement opportunities for men and women, with the hopes that everybody can find something that they're interested in, something that motivates them, something that they relate to. Whoop, I went the wrong way, huh? Okay, so Hope University, and again, a disclaimer, we are not done yet. Hope University is not fully deployed, fully developed. We are working on it. But want to highlight some of the numbers. You'll see over here on the left, since we've started, 3.6 million learning content completions. So that's in addition to everything we do in person with all of our educational program and rehabilitative resources. So these are all add-ons here where you'll see some numbers that are, we think, impressive, because this is all extra stuff that our men and women are doing. And you saw kind of the Adobe. I'll give you some context. I was in a prison 2 weeks ago. So I walked around, a guy was on his tablet, and I said, "Hey, have you heard about Hope University?" He said, "Oh, yeah." I said, "What are you working on?" He goes, I'm studying French." I was like, holy cow. So, international language tutorials are on there as well. But you'll see some of our top courses. The food service industry is number one. Number one. And why? Because that tends to be an industry where people don't care about what your history is. Can you cook? Can you serve? Is the food good? So you'll see some of our top here on the right-hand side, some of our top interest areas to this point. So again, we talked about GED and high set. We're using the preparatory material on here so that the men and women can prepare themselves or with a tutor. But then we get a flag to our education staff, and it'll say, "Hey, Todd Ishee just took the prep class. He got a good score. He's ready to take the high set test." But you'll see on the right-hand side about 4,000 educational resources are currently available. And again, that's only on one of the two LMS platforms. Platform number 2 is just starting to roll out. So we expect that the numbers will improve significantly. So when you click on Hope University, you kind of come up with a dashboard, and you'll see our main dashboard categories here. Starting over here with academic, we've talked about that, but jobs and finance, health and recovery, arts and culture, reentry, spirituality, and Spanish. So that's kind of the starting point. You hit that, and then it drills down a little further into each of the topic areas. This is an example of the next drill down on our academic curriculum. So you'll see things like reading and writing comprehension, mathematics, science, social studies, all of those kind of academic courses. This is another neat thing. So Hope University, one thing that our goal is to keep this fresh, right? Because as people work through it, people that are in our custody for year after year, we want to keep the content fresh and exciting and new. So we've worked with our vendor, and you'll see just a couple where it'll say featured or Hope University recommends. So that kind of changes as the months go along, but just some neat stuff to keep everyone's interest and attention. We talked about the number one interest area currently is in the food industry. And this Edwin's Leadership Restaurant Institute course is very popular. But you'll see at the very bottom, ServSafe certification exam prep. So we're integrating that into our food service operations because we run 54 cafeterias. So we use this as kind of an onboarding, and a number of our prisons, the offenders who are in the food service industry can then take the ServSafe certification, which is kind of a popular and valued credential. And they can take that when they leave prisons. They can go out and apply for a job and say, "Oh, hey, by the way, I'm currently ServSafe certified." Next, we're going to talk about drug and alcohol. drug and alcohol needs. Currently, our offender population is about 32,000 that are in our 54 prisons. About 63% have a significant issue with drug or alcohol addiction. And Hope University also provides, I think the key word here, if you look on the left, evidence-based programming. So there's a lot of stuff, but we wanted to sink money into a program that is evidence-based, that research tells us this works, this is effective. Because again, if you think about drug and alcohol, 63%, we've got resources to address about a third of that. So again, we're looking for Breaking Free to be an example of one of our bridges to help. Just a couple, this one has some other, just what I'm trying to do is paint a picture here of the vast diversity of Hope University and the different things. Construction safety, right? Construction tends to be another industry that employers don't care about what you did in your past. They care about, can you lay brick? Can you operate a bulldozer? Those kind of things. Disaster preparedness, dealing with anxiety. How much do we hear about that in our lives? Personal financing, cognitive awareness. So just again, some other examples of our 200 pages of things that are available. A little bit more here, and maybe if you look at the very middle, Careers Without College. We're proud of our college program, but we're reaching a small number of our 32,000. So again, a focus on how can I have a career, get out and do good things, even though I don't have a college degree. Okay, the other thing that our tablets do is we can customize them to our prisons. So our wardens can put prison-specific things about their site on the tablets, which we think are neat. But this highlights some stuff. You look, health information, right? We are getting ready to offer the flu. Well, we just got our flu and COVID vaccines. So there will be notices on here. How can I get my COVID shot and my flu shot? If you look at publications, Nash Correctional, is anybody here from, I thought I saw Talina, Warden Lee. So they have a newsletter or newspaper that goes out once a month. We are now sharing this system-wide. So everybody can read about what's going on at Nash. But the other cool thing is we have a team now that's working on a DAC newsletter that all 54 prisons will be able to feed in and contribute. Nash will still do theirs because that's a really cool thing. But we're also going to have a system-wide newspaper that everyone will be able to showcase the stuff going on at their site or special visitors. So we're excited about that. All right, so getting back to one of our cornerstones of reentry and rehabilitation. If you look over here on the right, 1,000+ resources to support reentry, and that's outside of education and the other ones that we showed you. But I think that I know that one of our main report card items for our agency is, are we moving the recidivism rate in the state of North Carolina down? So we're going to use Hope University to be a tool to help that. As I stated earlier, Hope University is not designed to replace in-person learning, in-person programming. It's just designed to be a supplemental activity because, people are people, and some people respond better to in-person learning, being in a classroom or in a program setting. Some do well on remote learning. And so what we're trying to do is cater to both, either one or the other, or maybe even a hybrid model. So here's another part of Hope University is 360-degree self-improvement. And you look around our circle here where we talk about rehabilitate, we've talked about substance abuse, anger management, all those kind of things. Parenting. Thousands and thousands and thousands of our men and women who are locked up are moms and dads. So we spend a lot of time to try to try to help develop skills around parenting. Because, I don't know about you guys. I have 3 kids, and that's my 3 kids are why my hairline is back this far. Sometimes being a parent is challenging or not easy. And then you put yourself in their shoes. How hard is it to be a parent while I'm not at home all the time? So we're, again, 2,000, if you'll see on the left there, 2,000 resources around this 360-degree model. So we'll talk a little bit about the future, because we talked about Hope University is not done. It's not a finished product. We still have a lot of work to do, but these are some things that are coming in the future. They're in the works with our vendor. But here's kind of the snapshot of this slide is inviting volunteers into our virtual world of Hope University. That's kind of our goal. We've got an army of volunteers that support our men and women across our 54 prisons. Sometimes it's a challenge to get to prison. Some are driving an hour to come in and go visit Lincoln Correctional Center. We think we can significantly increase the number of volunteers and supporters through this virtual, because they may be able to run a program from the comfort of their own living room through one of our LMS systems. So that's kind of what this slide is talking about, is we are going to expand from in-person volunteers to also virtual volunteers that can help provide even more programming opportunities for our men and women. So I kind of talked about bridging the gap, right? The bridge. So that's what this slide is designed to do. If you look in the middle, you'll see restrictive housing, and we're working hard to reform some of our restrictive housing practices. But what that includes is offenders that are assigned to restrictive housing beds also have access to a tablet. And that was a challenge. I think if you ask our wardens that are here today, when we first introduced that, a lot of our staff said, "Oh, hang on a minute. You guys are crazy. Why are these guys in restrictive housing getting a tablet?" Well, that tablet has kind of a special design. So if you're in restrictive housing, it doesn't have the movies, music, all that kind of stuff, but it's got the whole Hope University umbrella available to our men and women in restrictive housing. And as I said, we're still working on this and developing, but we want that time, and that if offenders have to be in restrictive housing, we want them to have opportunities to use that time wisely to continue on with Hope University. And also we're working toward the day where program completion in restrictive housing can result in shortening your stay in restrictive housing. So right now we have a program that says if good behavior can shorten your stay, we're working toward the day where program completion can also shorten that amount of time in restrictive housing. If you look on this one, I think the key vision here is, and again, we're not here yet, but the offenders and case managers can work collaboratively to develop and implement a meaningful case plan. So we do that now. It's all done in person, but I think this Hope University opens up a whole new world for our case managers and program staff to be able to guide offenders to programming and efforts that support their risk needs assessment. And so we're excited about that. Next, again, we're going to talk about the future here. We are working toward electronic grievance procedure. So getting out of the paper business into the electronic business. We sometimes have challenges where paper grievances come up missing. What this does, we all know what computers do, right? Every stroke of the key you make on a computer, somebody can tell you did it. So we won't have lost or missing paperwork in our grievance procedure. And Kimberly Grandy, our director of the grievance board, is working hard on this. I think we're aiming toward a starting point with our female population as kind of a pilot. I think okay, here we go. I'm just going to put all of them up there. So the other stuff, community colleges, great partners. We have a very robust partnership with our community college system here in North Carolina. We talked about the statewide newsletter. Faith is important to so many of our men and women, and we are going to use Hope University to expand opportunities. Like, for example, we're working toward the day, if Sam, a member of a large church in Charlotte, that I'll be able to go on here and watch my Sunday service from my community. So we're excited about that. Again, we're not there yet. We're working on it. We've had some good feedback from a number of our churches, but that's really kind of the vision, is to connect our men and women with their local faith organization so that they can stay in tune and connected. And we're getting close here to wrapping up. Here's another big thing we're working on, is an incentive program to help drive Hope University participation. Right now, there's not really much of incentive unless you're self-motivated. But as we know, men and women, all of us as human beings respond well to incentives. So working toward a day where program completion translates into maybe a free phone call or a free movie or something to really boost and kind of put Hope University on steroids. And so with that kind of wraps up. I know we had to go quick, but wanted to give you a peek into our new virtual world in North Carolina Corrections that's growing. Again, we're not there yet. This has been a good thing. I know part of today we're going to talk about our staff, and we talked about staff shortages, but the tablets have been well received by our staff. And I'm looking around, I see a number of our wardens. When we first rolled them out, the staff said, "Hey, wait a minute, I don't know about all this tablet stuff," right? It's ironic. You go back a month or 2 months later, and our staff say, this tablet program has been really good. It's been really good because our system, like many or most, idleness is a challenge. Offender idleness, people sitting around with nothing to do, is a challenge, and it usually results in bad stuff. And what this tablet program has done is cut that idleness category down significantly. So we're excited about this. I'm excited to watch it continue to grow. We've got still a lot of work to do with that. But we'll leave Ron with a copy of the PowerPoint. But again, I said, we've done a lot. We're doing a lot. We've got a team of right now about 15,000 very deeply committed staff. But we realize we still have a lot of work yet to do. And but we've got people that are rolling their sleeves up and deeply committed to furthering and improving our prison system for the men and women that we are now serving. So I think I'm pretty close to being on time, and I appreciate the opportunity to come and spend time with you today. We appreciate our staff are here. We've got folks probably from all of our 4 regions, the East, the Central, the South Central, and the West. So if you have questions or would like further clarification, we're here to engage with you. We want to talk to you. We want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. If there is bad and ugly, we need to know about it, because the people that are here in this room are the people that can change that. Because as I said, we're not perfect, but we are aspiring to be the best that we can and are committed to doing that. So if some things are going on that are not perfect, we need to know about them and have an opportunity to address them and get them fixed. So with that, Ron, I'm going to turn back over to you and the rest of the agenda. Thanks again for inviting me to spend a little bit of time with you today, and we'll look forward to continuing to learn as the day goes on. Thanks, everybody.